Welcome, everybody, back to the DFS Deli. It is week 15. We don't need to talk about anything that happened in the chalkiest week of the season in week 14 because that did not exist. We are a forward-thinking show. It is a beautiful, finally sunny day here in Cleveland, Ohio, but the tides will change tomorrow. How will it affect the slate? We'll let you know right here on the DFS Deli. Let's open it up. Let's go. And welcome in to the DFS Deli. I'm the proprietor of this delicatessen, Sully Ali Shaheed. And once again, as I mentioned, it is a Saturday night-ish. We got a big college football game here in Cleveland, the Cleveland area, I should say. Big for Ohio with the first playoff game for Ohio State later on tonight. My man Chill is going to be visiting family. My man Baker has his bae in town. So everybody's doing their thing. I got my kids. They're over there playing somewhere in the background in the other room, getting babysat by an iPad pad. And we're here to talk about fantasy football. Our final thoughts going into the slate. Normally you do the 50,000-foot view, but I was a little under the weather earlier in the week. So we are gathered here tonight to bring you all of the details to get you to the top of the tournament charts. Baker, welcome back to work. How are you, my friend? I know you just got off of work, but now you got to go back to work. So how's it going, man?
Have you ever had somebody who shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, like touching like your face, touch your face at work?
At work? No.
Is it a customer or employee?
It was a coworker.
So sexual harassment.
I'm not going that route.
Are you sure you don't want to own the steakhouse now?
I would not get ownership of it if that was the case anyway.
Ooh, talk to me.
I mean, you get a fat check for DFS.
Start playing in the Thunderdome every week off of that.
It only takes one.
It only takes one, Baker. It only takes one. Just give me one big dink.
Baker, you just got to outsmart 15 people instead of 1,000 people.
But nah, I mean, he's a cool dude. Don't get it twisted. But he was like trying to pluck one of my gray hairs out of nowhere, and I'm like,
First of all, Baker,
yes.
Baker, you're younger than me, so I know with my beard that is significantly shorter than yours. There are several gray beards in there, gray hairs in there. So he would be plucking for a good hour and a half. If you start on one, you can't just get one. No. You gotta keep going.
He would literally be plucking this side of my beard. I have gray hair just right here. Nice little patch. He'd be here for hours. Nowhere else on the beard, but right here. Right there.
I think he off and on listens to this show at times too. So if he does see this, I don't care.
Well, yeah, still.
It's all right. Tell him to pull up. You can pluck my gray hair. Shit.
I'm hoping that's not a euphemism for something else.
It's not.
Hey, you trying to pull up and pluck my grays?
You know what, Sully? You should use that line next time you're talking to somebody like, yo, you want to pluck this gray?
I'm saying. It might work. Chili, what's going on, man?
Not much. It's a little bit of an interesting slate. I actually think it's kind of a difficult slate. I think a lot of things are kind of open. I think there's a lot of good matchups. I think quarterback ownership is going to be rather spread out. So, I mean, if you get the quarterback that probably gets about 20 to 25 points, I think you're going to be looking okay. But just getting ready to dive on into this slate because, like I said, man, there's a lot of quarterbacks I want to play, and I can't play them all.
That's fair.
And if you do 150 lineups.
Just got a point.
I mean, I can go download the solver. It's $35 a month. I'll go get it.
Chill, I will give you access to my thing so you ain't got to spend the money. I got you.
Hey, man, $37.50 will get you 150 entries into the quarter arcade. I'm just saying. So if you want to MME, you can do it for the cool price of $37.50.
Yeah. And if you want to play all the quarterbacks you want to play, that's the way to do it.
I will say, also, the Ohio State game is next week.
Oh, I apologize. My bad.
Yeah, because that's down here with me.
Oh, is it Ohio State?
Yeah,
it's
at Ohio State.
I was looking at my Bleacher Report, and I was like, "Oh, college football. Okay. Oh. I guess because I was listening
I
to
wasn't
the
sure either.
Army game.
I wasn't sure either. I looked at my phone. I'm like, is it today? Hold on.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm sorry. College football playoffs are just crazy to me. I
It's a
don't follow it
nightmare.
too much.
It's a
Yeah, it's
nightmare.
an entire freaking nightmare.
The
100%.
people that made that system are the same people that got the system wrong for the past 30 years, and they still control it. It's terrible. You got Oregon got rewarded for nothing for being the 1 seed. Penn State got rewarded for losing. Nobody cares about SMU, Indiana, Arizona State. We don't care.
You don't care. I care. Okay.
No, you don't.
I care about SMU. Okay.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't. You're right. I admit it. Okay.
You can't even lie.
I was fronting. Okay. You didn't have to call me out like that in front of everybody. You got calling me out. Damn, Jill.
Baker, can you name one SMU player?
Not a chance in hell.
I actually thought maybe you could have.
Get the fuck out of here! Like I can.
Part of me thought like maybe because like you pay a little bit of attention to college football,
right?
A smidge.
I mean, I pay a decent amount of college, especially being in a bunch of dynasty leagues. So trying to be a big brain on a lot of draft picks and dynasty.
I mean, we know you're not paying attention to your favorite team, but
I stopped paying attention to them. That's my second favorite team. After week 2,
they suck.
I couldn't tell you what I couldn't tell you what they've done since week 2. I literally can't.
Lose a lot. Well, that's neither here nor there. That's a separate podcast for people that know much more about college sports than we do. Because all the teams that you named in the playoffs, I had no idea they were actually in.
That's a different part. That's a different part of the friends group.
Except Oregon. I did know that Oregon was still number 1. I did know that.
They were number 1. Sorry.
Mr. Krabs. Remember, he was number 1.
This is how we get sidetracked. So much.
Hey, first of all, people need to realize the first like 5 to 10 minutes of the show is banter, and then we get into the actual topic at hand.
I just watched the other night. I couldn't fall asleep, so I have a channel that's old Nickelodeon cartoons, and it was the old SpongeBob episode. So it was the one where Squidward was teaching an art class, and SpongeBob just one-upped them on everything.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the dump.
My favorite part is when he's got the box over his head. To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
Speaking of old SpongeBob, I was singing like I'm a Goofy Goober for Steph the other day, and she's like, "Why do you know that?" I'm like, "Why don't you?"
I would have kicked her out right then and there.
Gotta remember, she's on the younger side, Bake.
She is on the younger side.
So my kids know the Goofy Goober song.
And they're even younger than she is.
Right. So no excuses, bruh.
Yeah, but she didn't have a peer like your kids do to show them the way.
She wasn't raised right.
Show her the way. Baker, like, you might just have to sit her down after this podcast and be like, listen, first, we're watching the first episode or first season of SpongeBob.
Yeah, you got to get the first season because that's where the classic SpongeBob is.
And this ain't no Netflix and chill. You are watching.
Yes.
SpongeBob.
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing. Like, if she tried to do something, which I'm a good Christian boy, I ain't going to do nothing. But if she tried to do something, I'd be like, no, we're watching.
Nah, man. I'd just strap on a chastity belt and be like,
So, actually, before... Just to like, because Chill, you and I have been doing this back and forth for years now. Family Guy, SpongeBob, anything you can name pop culture, like old school cartoons. Like you and I get references and we can latch on. Baker, of course, you and I, same deal. So, but I was at a raid hour in Lakewood for Pokemon, and we were like at the end of Madison, and like at the corner there's a big like boulder, and like somebody sat on it, and I was like. It's not a boulder. It's like I was sitting on this boulder. I was like, it's not a boulder. Then this guy, like 2 or 3 people down from me, it's a rock. A rock. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. You get it. Someone finally got it. I was so hyped. It was amazing. I love when complete strangers get the reference. Like
Absolutely.
it's incredible. It's an unmatched feeling in the world when someone gets you. Someone gets you. I was like, let's go ahead and add this guy to my friends list. Because you and I, we're linked at the hip.
We're simpatico.
Absolutely. So, if you don't know what we do here on the DFS Deli, besides talk about old classic SpongeBob episodes, because anything after season 2 is trash, we talk position by position, giving you our favorite plays of the slate. So, we can start where, well, I would like to start at least where week 14 ended, and that was Josh Allen completely nuking the slate. Everybody thought with their Sam Darnold shares, they had something going. And then Josh Allen proceeded to tell him to hold his beer. So are we going back? Is the field going back to Josh Allen? Because this guy is. So Chili's shaking your head. No, I'll start with you. Why no Josh Allen? And where else are you going to decide to go on the slate?
Well, I mean, the field, I was saying no. The field is not going back to Josh Allen. Not really. I mean, just kind of put in perspective, your 3 chalkiest quarterbacks on the slate. I mean, I'll say 2 is Murray and Herbert. Baker's X. It's getting a little rough out here in these Kyler Murray streets. Like,
when my X is chalk, there's something wrong.
Kyler Murray's chalk at home against New England. So, and then Justin Herbert. If Ladd McConkey's back, we know this Bucs secondary can't do anything. But to get back to the Josh Allen take, I mean, it's going to be a good play. I don't know how many people are going to chase if it's going to be a similar game script there against Detroit. We know Detroit likes to run way more than the Rams, and Detroit may run more to keep Josh Allen off the field because we know Buffalo's just going to let you run, and Buffalo also does give up like a lot of receptions to running backs too. But we'll kind of get there when we need to get there. But if you're playing Josh Allen, I think it's fine. Nobody's playing it. I think if I play Josh Allen, it's probably I think it's in a game stack. I mean, if I'm playing him, probably running him, I'd probably put one piece with him. You don't have to. I think you can run him naked and play him with 2 Lions. I think it's fine. But I'm not hating on Josh Allen. I mean, they need to win that game, like to keep the 1 seed hopes alive. So I mean, it may be time for Superman to put back on the cape.
Well, I mean, Detroit has to win it too because the Eagles are right on their heels. So this is a must win for both of them. And it's the highest total on the slate, 54.5. It is not close. Second next game ain't even close. So just like we said on the podcast last week, and which is why you should be tuning in to the DFS Deli Weekly. If you're going to stack the Rams-Bills game, you're going to stack all of it. And if you did that, you were fine last week. So this week could be similar. And like you said, they might want to run more to keep Josh Allen off the field. However, the Bills can't stop the run. So this could be a case where even if they try to load up the box or Detroit tries to run more, they're just going to give up chunk plays and be in the end zone before you know it. And Josh Allen's back on the field. So I think, yes, I'm going back to the Josh Allen well. Played him last week, just didn't have the right Rams pieces. Had Kyron, but not nearly enough Puka. This could be a similar case where, like you said, if you want to take Josh Allen naked, you can take him a la carte, or you can bring someone else along with him, Khalil Shakur. We should have their tight end back, Kincaid, this week. You got Amari Cooper in his 14 targets last week. And those pieces are still cheap. So if you want to bring another bill, great. But I agree with you. I would say 2 Lions on the other side. If you play the Josh Allen side, stack the whole thing. Bring along 2 Lions with them and just stack the game.
And if I'm picking a stacking choice for Josh Allen, it's probably Amari Cooper. I don't think I want to play a chalky Khalil Shakir. So I'm probably putting him with Cooper. I think that's – and Cooper's cheap, at least on DraftKings. He's cheap. I think he's only 5,100 or 53.
He's 59 on FanDuel, so he's dirt cheap over there as well.
Yeah, so I do like that. I mean, it's a good quarterback slate. I mean, you obviously have Joe Burrow and his 40 attempts are incoming. We know Chase Brown is going to be chalky, I do believe. His two wide receivers are going to be chalky, but Joe Burrow's not chalky, which is weird. It's an expensive double stack, so if you want to find value on the slate, there's not. I don't think there's a ton. I mean, there's some, um, but again, I mean, Burrow. I mean, my favorite quarterbacks this week are all kind of more on the expensive side. I know there's weather affecting this game, but I do like Pat Mahomes. Like if there's an explosion game for Pat Mahomes left in the season, it's probably this one. The Browns do give up the most like deep throws in the league. They only play single high safety. Like you're just kind of banking on one big play to Xavier Worthy. You have the Travis Kelsey homecoming narrative, so you kind of got that there. Um, Nobody's playing Lamar Jackson against the Giants. Baltimore coming off a bye. It gets pricey if you want to put the Ravens in there, but um, I mean, you could be afraid of game script, but I do like Lamar this week. And then my other favorite quarterback is probably Jaden Daniels against the Saints. Um, Again,
Homecoming.
the homecoming narrative. I think his stacking options. I think we know where the ball's going on the Washington offense, which I kind of do like that. So those are kind of my favorite plays. If I kind of got one random quarterback that I probably would like to play, it's probably Bo Nix against this Colts defense. Coming off a bye, they're at home. This is essentially a playoff game for both of these teams. Um, Both of these teams really need to win because if the Colts win, then if they could win out, they would have the tiebreaker over Denver. Denver, I think, still has to play the Chargers and the Chiefs, so um, it's kind of a really must win for both teams here. So I kind of do like Bo Nix, and like Indianapolis doesn't give up deep passes, but they give you everything underneath. So I do like the Bo Nix rushing side of things here with the short throws because that's what he strives at, and they're coming off a bye. So those are probably the quarterbacks I like this week. But there's so many good plays.
Baker, the field is playing your ex. Are you playing your ex? That's what I need to know.
Nah, me and her, like, we can't get together. I got the new boo in the other room, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially with the new bae in the other room, I can't be talking to my ex, bro.
What's her DraftKings price? is the field on it, or can we get her low owned like Lamar tomorrow? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think the fact of the field being on her, nah, she got to be cheaper than Kyler, though. And she has more upside than Kyler, too.
Elaborate. Go on. You're not playing Kyler. Who we got tomorrow then, bro?
So I like a lot of the things that Joe said. I can't really get with Pat Mahomes because I'm like, for some reason, I just don't see upside in him. But Joe Burrow, I'm saying he throws the ball 2 million times a game. But can the Titans push him to have to throw the ball that much? That's my only concern. Because a lot of these games that you get Joe Burrow going stupid is because his defense sucks. So my fear is the Tennessee side of it. But can Joe Burrow eat? Absolutely. Lamar was my first instinct going into the week. And I've kind of come around on Chill's team, actually. So I'm digging some Tua doubles, but, you can, like, the traditional Tua double of Waddle and Hill
So
no longer needs to be what you need to do.
I'm not telling you not to play it, but they are going to be without their left tackle and right tackle, I do think. I'm just letting you know.
Well, the thing about the Dolphins that I like is the fact that it's a quick passing offense. Like,
Right.
like we're not doing long developing routes downfield. Now, I understand Houston can pressure. They have nice edge rushers, so that could definitely be a thing.
So I guess my only pushback on it to a double is because it's going to be a quicker pass rush, and because like the Texans do have a good pass rush, like I don't know if I would double them with Waddle and Hill because like Jonnu Smith is like the highest scoring tight end since like week 7, and Achan has not hit the long run yet, but like it's kind of hard to double him now with those two options. If this was like a couple years ago, I would agree. But like because they have no O line, and their O line sucks when it's healthy, but like that's why you see Janu and Achan getting these 7 receptions, 10 targets, 5 receptions. Like so, I think the right tackle is like a game time decision. I would have to look that up, but they may have O line issues.
And I get that. But here's the thing about the Tua double for me. First of all, nobody's on Miami in general.
Correct.
Second of all, I don't have to go the traditional route of Tyreek and Waddle. I can go Waddle and Jonu. I can go Tyreek and Anchan, Echan. I could like you can mix and match these guys, which it gets you even more unique than your already uniqueness of this stack. It makes it a little bit more difficult, obviously, because it's not the clear cut, but I still like that environment because if Houston's been able to get beaten one way, it's via the air, and it's been via deep balls a lot lately, too.
Yeah. And you just got to worry that Houston may give Joe Mixon the ball 30 times.
If I do the Miami double, it's with Joe Mixon.
That makes sense to me, at least.
But I mean, aside from the game of the week in the 4 o'clock hammer, one of the games I'm still targeting is this Browns Chiefs game. Jameis is going to throw the ball 40 times. Jameis, with no Cedric Tillman already rolled out, we know where this ball is going. When Jameis hits, he hits with a fucking hammer. Like, he's not bringing one pass catcher. He's not bringing 2 pass catchers. A lot of games where he's hitting, he's bringing 3 pass catchers with him. That's insane. Like, if you do a Jameis triple, run it.
And it's relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, and the Kansas City guys are cheap.
You can stack the hell out of that game and still get into Buffalo and Lions.
Absolutely. Before we move on to running back, I would just advise don't be like me and play garbage quarterbacks. Don't play Will Levis tomorrow. Just don't
play AOC. So you're saying don't play AOC?
Don't play AOC. Don't play bad quarterbacks. Just I know Cincinnati sucks.
So you're not playing the Tommy Cutlets?
No, I'm not playing Tommy Cutlets. I'm not playing any of this garbage anymore. It's Josh Allen. It's Jaden Daniels. Probably end of list, to be honest. I want to squeeze in Lamar, but like with the Giants, there's no pushback. Like none. But if you're going to play Lamar, I'd say bring like Zay Flowers along with him and Mark Andrews or,
Arcane. You can play Arcane with Lamar.
Anybody you want, but like, don't play Will Levis. Don't play trash. Say hi to YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, Maya. Maya coming in to say hi to YouTube. Hello.
That's all right. So again, like he's saying, don't play trash quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks to like on this slate. I mean, there's going to be guys that we aren't able to cover. That still have a ton of upside. I mean, I kind of touched on it, but Justin Herbert is playing the Buccaneers. I mean, and the Chargers running game is kind of non-existent. So, I mean, like people like Gus Edwards and them. So, like, again, Herbert's a fine play. Nobody's playing Baker Mayfield tomorrow. And all the Bucs games are fun. It's fun football.
that is 100% true. Baker Mayfield keeps this shit. I mean,
if you want a quarterback, probably that's going to be less than 2%, and it may be even less than 1%. Nobody's playing Baker Mayfield tomorrow. So again, here, like he said, don't play trash quarterbacks. If you want to convince yourself to play Will Levis, don't. I rather would have had if Mason Rudolph was starting, I would have played him. But like you said, I mean, Will Levis burned everybody last week. I mean, Cincinnati does have a decent pass rush, and like Will Levis is so turnover prone. So, again, like there's a lot of good plays. I mean, we have Jared Goff on the other side of that Bills Lions game. I believe the Bills are without Rasul Douglas as well. So again, here that game could be rather on the more interesting side, but like Sully said, don't play trash quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's get into some good plays and let's talk about the running back position. And I'll let you guys elaborate on, of course, what's my favorite play of the slate, Derrick Henry, who is going to bring in some ownership, but he gets the nut matchup in the Giants. Our king shall rise, fresh off a little reprieve, trailing Saquon now for the rushing title. I think that's something that Baltimore might be motivated to get him, especially if he gets going early. So I think he's, even at his expensive price tag, is going to be one of those guys you could probably lock in. But there's a lot of chalk outside of, Derrick Henry. We got Rico Dowdle chalk week. We got Chuba Hubbard chalk week. We got, this is it's getting a little shaky out here in these running back streets. So basically, I'll leave it to, and I'll start with you, Baker. Who you're locking in, and who do we have to fade? Because I think there's a couple interesting plays at running back that are getting absolutely no ownership, and they both just happen to be wearing Detroit Lions jerseys. So I'll let you I'll let you bank on that. Go ahead and elaborate, and let me know your thoughts on the running back position.
Well, the running backs who wear the Detroit Lions uniforms, my favorite is Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll throw that out there.
Same.
Big fan of him going into this week. I'm not sure even how to feel about Rico Dotto and Chuba Hubbard, because Chuba Hubbard just seems to get there every week. Well, but Rico Dotto is one actual good game, and the rest is kind of meh.
No, he's had a couple. He's had his past 2 games are really good. He is getting the bulk of the work. The Panthers' run defense is absolutely awful. And I really like Chuba Hubbard. They have nobody left in the Carolina backfield. He's getting the receiving work. If I have to pick one or the other, I'm picking Chuba.
Agreed. I agree with that.
But I'm okay with the Chuba chalk. I'm not against it in the slightest. I think both are fine. Both are at 6K. They help you make a lot of things work. They kind of have to outscore Derrick Henry, which if you believe it's a Lamar game, then you're fine. But both of them have receiving upside. Sully mentioned both of the Lions. I didn't know David Montgomery was kind of getting that much receiving work. Watching that last Thursday game against Green Bay, he had 5 or 6 receptions. And the Buffalo Bills do give up the most receiving receptions to running backs, believe it or not, because they want to keep everything within the 20s. So I don't have a preferred one. I think if you play either one, you're fine. I don't think you play whichever one fits the salary is kind of how I'm going to go with the Lions guys. But like he said, nobody is playing either one of those guys tomorrow. Respectively, I got them at 6% and 2%. 6% for Gibbs. Nobody's playing David Montgomery, so I don't think play either one of the Lions guys. I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's just like I got away with last week with playing Kyron. He was 1.5% owned in my biggest contest. So, again, we stated on the show last week, the Bills don't want to stop the run because they can't. So you're talking about 2 running backs that literally are split dead even. They have the same amount of touches, the same amount of touchdowns. They're the same guy, essentially. Just depends on who hits. But if they're both going to be sub 5%, that's ridiculous. You're talking about, again, they couldn't stop Kyron last week. They couldn't stop Puka last week. And this is the game with the highest total on the slate. Why nobody won't play Detroit Lions running backs? I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm playing them. I don't get it.
So. Do you? We kind of touched on it. Do you like Chuba and Rico? Do you not like them? Do you like one over the other? I prefer Chuba.
I also prefer Chuba.
I just don't see. I think there's guys in similar price ranges that can provide a little more ceiling, right? Out of that small group, I think Brian Robinson Jr. is my favorite play, but Chuba is going to get his work. We saw Jonathan Brooks get hurt, unfortunately, so there's nobody really behind him. So I get it, but Rico had a good game last week, but I think that's a little more chasey, and I don't want to lean into that ownership when either I can pay a little more and get one of the Lions guys, like I said, or you can pay down to a couple guys that, that aren't going to get played at all. And I got a couple interesting ones, but we'll get there. Baker, yes. You have your hand raised, sir?
I love hitting that button because it's just
Baker
fun,
in the back of the class, yes?
So like I have to throw it out there just because this team is so bad in so many different ways. Like, how do we feel as a collective unit about the Jets running game?
Is
Brees
Brees
said he's
back?
going to play. Brees said he's
Brees,
playing.
so we get Brees Lightning versus the Jags.
I'm going to let you know right now. I like the other side. I like Tank Bigsby versus the Jets.
Absolutely. I'll take that prop bet with you right now.
Brees versus Tank?
I will give you the Jags running game versus
I don't
Brees.
want Travis Etienne Jr. I just want Tank Bigsby. I don't want the other guy.
I mean, Baker, do you like playing like running backs that are in committees? Because there's only one committee of running backs to play, and they're up in the murder mitten.
I mean, obviously, we touched on the main committee to get involved in. We touched on that already.
Right. Like my fear is that Brees Hall gets sniped at the goal line by either one of the running backs. Like I'm not hating on the matchup. It's a good play because he's going to be unowned, I would think. But man, like if it
I
fails,
think that they might just be easing him back in too, because like the Jets are done. Their season's over. So like why risk one of your superstars to a meaningless game against the Jags? Like I don't see the
Aaron Rodgers coming off of the successful game that he had, they may lean on the pass more.
But that would also be a thought. That would be the thought process with the Bengals too. Like the Bengals season for the most part is done. Like barring some sort of stupid ass miracle.
They got a small chance.
Like barring some sort of stupid ass miracle.
Yeah, but they still have a chance. Because like once their playoff hopes are done, if you're Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, why would you play?
I mean, I get it, especially Jamar Chase. He's about to get the bag this offseason. He's like, I showed y'all.
The price went up.
He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I showed y'all what I'm about. Pay me.
Like, what was the stat? I think he's like in PPR leagues, he's 100 points clear of the second place wide receiver.
I don't think it's that big of a gap, but
I think it is. I think it's 100 points. He's clear of Justin Jefferson,
which is insane.
All I know is that I hope the Bengals lose because that way Jamar Chase can chill the hell out. So everybody, and I mean everybody that still owns them in their playoff rosters on yearly, they can suck it because that's the only reason why they're in the damn playoffs anyway, is because they have Jamar Chase. So screw Jamar Chase and screw everybody that owns them. And if that's you, chill, screw you.
I don't have Jamar Chase in any league.
Okay, then I take it back.
And then all right.
Jamar Chase has 322 points in PPR scoring, full point PPR. Justin Jefferson has 237.
Yeah,
or
so
35.
Almost 100 points.
Yeah, that's insane.
LSU representing.
LSU representing me right now, baby.
Speaking of fantasy playoffs, RIP if you had Cooper Kupp. Because
you seen the Family Guy reel with him when he's going up with the shotgun. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. And with Cooper Kupp in the background.
And just to kind of touch on some more running backs here, you mentioned Brian Robinson Jr. going up against the Saints defense. I'll touch on him when we get to defense, but if I did have a fat chick at the bar this week, it's in this game. Everybody played this fat chick a lot last week. She got tossed around a lot last week, and nobody wants to go back to her. The world's done with her, and she's lonely at the bar. But you come in, you're like, man, I'm playing Jaden Daniels this week. Who's on the bring back? And you look down at the bar, you see her, her fatness. Be like, come on with it.
I thought you were gonna say Saquon. I thought you were gonna say Saquon for a second because no one wants to play Saquon either tomorrow. But
I kind of like Saquon this week too.
It's an interesting pivot.
Nobody's playing Alvin Kamara. And the thing is, I know people are gonna be like, oh, Kendre Miller and all this other stuff. Like, I get it, but like, there's nobody left. And like Washington doesn't have the greatest defense, offense got to come from somewhere. So like I think I would only play Kamara in my Jaden Daniels teams, but I do like that this week.
I like that. I can see your angle. I see your
Also,
angle and where you're
nobody's
coming
playing
from.
Achan this week either.
Yeah, I'm with it. Listen,
Yeah,
before
that's
we move
fine.
on to wide receiver, can I interest you in a 2% owned to the biggest pivot play of the slate, in my humble opinion? If everyone's playing Kyler, right? Why don't you play the narrative that the Patriots actually win this game and play Ramondre Stevenson?
I don't hate it.
We saw what Zach Charbonnet did to this same Cardinals team last week when he nuked the slate. We all know Ramondre Stevenson season is going to get all the tote. He's cheap. And let's say you just play the Patriots defense and Ramondre Stevenson season, you slaughter all the chalk donkeys that go on the Kyler MHJ side.
I mean, and James
Just saying.
Conner is also going to be chalk as well.
Just saying. So what if you want to play a little Ramondre Stevenson season tomorrow?
I like it.
I don't hate it.
It's a pivot
And
play. It's a pivot play. It's a straight pivot.
To say that Zach Charbonnet nuked the slate is an understatement.
No.
Oh, Charbonnet.
I was listening. I can't remember the podcast I was listening to, but someone kept butchering his last name. It was like Jack Sharpnet or something like that. So they kept calling him something. And I'm just like, y'all don't know ball. Like, y'all are the ones that are getting 1,000 views. You can't even pronounce this dude's name correctly. Yes, we make fun of it. Right, we make fun of it, but we know how to freaking pronounce it. They were saying it with confidence. Like, it was like his actual last name. I'm like, y'all don't even know ball. Y'all just know statistics and analytics and shit, which is important. However, pronounce the man's name right.
Like, unless you're gonna say Zach Charbonnet.
Wide receivers. Holy Jamar Chase. Y'all want to play some Jamar Chase tomorrow? Y'all want to play some T. Higgins tomorrow? Y'all want to play some?
If I'm playing the Bengals guys, it's with Burrow. I don't think
what's that loser's name? Calvin Ridley, Mega Chalk. Calvin Ridley,
Chalky Calvin Ridley. I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm a pass as well, my friend. I've gone along this Calvin Ridley road way too many times, and let me tell you, at the end of it is a dead end. So I'm cool. Fading that chalk. I think there's a lot of chalk I'm willing to fade tomorrow just to, get different. But like, there's obviously some good chalk plays out there, but those ones kind of stand out. I know, T. Higgins got the squeaky wheel narrative. I get that. But I think we can go some other places and get more results at better ownership. So, Chill, top of your priority list. Who are we playing at wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, just taking a look here, I'll just like the chalkier guys that I do like. I do like Lad McConkey going up against this Tampa Bay secondary. As we know, the Bucs secondary we've been targeting that for the whole season now. It's just not very good. I mean, we'll touch on this game, but the Browns Chiefs game, I think a lot of the wide receivers in that game, again, depending on how you want to look at the weather, are in play. I do like Hopkins. I do like Worthy. The Browns guys, I think, are all fine and they're cheap. I mean, Judy's going to be it's going to be chalk, but you just get different playing with Winston. James Winston. I mean, we say it every week. Mike Evans is still on the slate, and he's no longer on the injury report. Like I said earlier, the Bucs games are fun. They still want to get him, 1,000 yards. So I do like me some Mike Evans this week. Since I like Jane Daniels, I do like both of the Washington receivers with Terry McLaurin. Nobody's playing Terry McLaurin. Diami Brown. I do like both of them as well. But is anybody playing 5,500 Marvin Harrison Jr.?
You know my thoughts. You heard my rant. I'm playing the Patriot side of that. No, absolutely not. I refuse.
And
he's had 2 good games this entire year. That was DFS worthy. It's week 15. I'm good.
And then is anybody playing the AJ Brown narrative?
No. Against Pitt. No.
The last time he played Pittsburgh, he had like 9 receptions for like 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't know
that's
how long.
that's when they could throw the ball.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jalen Hurts don't do that no more.
Yeah, right. Right. And then
what needs to improve? Passing game.
Also, nobody's playing Zay Flowers either. So
Zay Flowers has a gold star on my list for this week as well. I do like a lot of Zay Flowers. Baker, who you lining up, man?
Obviously, I said I like Jameis because he throws the ball 10 bajillion times a game. So all of his pass catches are in play for me. The first thing that stood out to me when I looked at the slate was the fact that the God of the Sun was under 8K. We just saw Justin Jefferson drop under 8K, and he almost destroyed his slate. Then Puka Nacua came along and said, "Hold my beer."
That's what I'm saying.
But the God of the Sun is not getting as much respect as he probably should, as he's dropped under 8K. So I think he's about to say, put some more respect on my name. We know this dude carries a huge chip on his shoulder. He plays a role for the Lions that would beat the Buffalo Bills pass defense. Very similar to the Puka Nacua zone coverage beater type of play person. That is the God of the Sun. So he is a pivotal part for me going into the week of that game. He is one of those players that we're just jamming into things. And he is going to be a huge reason why I don't get as much Jamar Chase as I probably should get in my life this week. He's going to be a huge reason because playing both of them just isn't feasible in my brain. I like Adam Thielen as a decent leverage off of Chuba, or just playing him with Chuba and saying, give me all of the Panthers offense, essentially. As I mentioned, I do like the Dolphins receivers, or Dolphins passing game, or the Dolphins. So I'm all for that as well. Lad McConkley, at that ownership, I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Obviously, I know we can attack the Bucs. But I almost want to attack the Bucs with Quentin Johnston. And that sounds disgusting in my brain because he doesn't know how to catch the ball.
He has the silver star for me. Quentin Johnston. Zay Flowers gets the gold star. Quentin Johnston. If you want to get gross, if you're in large field, late swap, I'll just say he's right there. Especially with Lad McConkey banged up a little bit. He's still iffy to go tomorrow, but if he goes, that helps Quentin Johnston's cause, actually. Yes, he has a problem with catching the pigskin. However, I do like him as leverage. And another play that you mentioned earlier, but I'd like to actually add on to that, is I do like me some Adam Thielen. But what about a little mini correlation with CeeDee Lamb on the other side?
Ooh.
What about a little Sedarian Lamb? Okay, so the AC joint's feeling good. We saw he had a decent game last time he was out. You know, hot first half, cooled off the second half. But at the same time, we're talking about Carolina. Yes, they have been competitive for the past couple games, 3 games actually. But at the same time, we've seen number ones in each of these 3 games get there. So if we see this game as competitive again, if we can expect a little bit of scoring, and CD provides leverage, we like the word leverage around here, off of a chalky Rico Dowdle, why can't CeeDee Lamb have a blow-up 100-plus in 2 game, and Rico Dowdle gets his 20-some-odd carries for 85 yards and no scores? So give me sprinkle a little CeeDee Lamb in your life tomorrow, if you dare. Baker in the back of the class.
So I have to say it because you mentioned that, and it just sparks something in my brain. Because my brain, I'm saying, is slow. If we're going to do that, do we do Bryce Young or Cooper Rush? Or do we just play the receivers to, like...
If you want to put a quarterback with it, it's Bryce Young.
Baker, did you not hear me in the first segment? No bad quarterbacks? He hasn't been fantasy good. He's just been good.
About? Bryce Young would have taken down multiple tournaments 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. I was like, last week? No, sir.
Going against Tampa, Bryce Young was the nuts.
I can't do it. Not on this slate. I mean, there's just too many good quarterback plays that I'd rather play. It's just not one of those gross ones that we had a couple weeks back. But no, I'd rather take a little mini, get some CD, get some Adam Thielen. You're pivoting both ways if you just run that.
So you would rather pivot both ways than pivot one way, like playing Chuba with CD or Thielen with Donald?
It depends on the field size. It depends on the field size, right? So if you're talking like 3,000 to 4,000, I would say, yeah, you can pivot one way, take Rico, and then take, someone on the other end, or you can go the opposite way, with CD and Chuba. But at the same time, like larger field, we're talking milli maker type things, which a lot of people like to enter. Yeah, just forget all the ownership that way and just come this way. It's cheaper. Well, not cheaper because CD is a little pricey. But at the same time, like CD is in that realm of Tyreek Hill and, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, like guys like that. And he's going to get bypassed every time.
Facts.
So
big facts.
Just CD. Yeah. CD. Bronze star.
And then I think for me and Sully, we're the same on this one, but favorite Bills wide receiver this week is probably Amari Cooper.
Amari. Yeah,
Agreed.
14 targets don't lie.
Why are we all in agreement on that?
He's cheap. He's got target volume.
He's cheap and he's not chalky.
Yeah. Yep. Add all that to cart.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Tight ends. Go ahead.
On wide receiver, one of the Jets guys is going to get there. I know it sounds
coming
gross.
from Breece Hall. I'm telling you, it's
Baker,
coming
I hope you're right, but I think one of the Jets guys are getting there.
I can't pull the trigger. I can't do it.
Neither can I don't think. But we'll see. But I think one of them are going to get there
because it's all going to come from Breece Hall. I'm telling y'all.
I'm telling you.
If you don't believe me, just watch.
Do it. Trey McBride, tight ends, still hasn't scored a touchdown on the receiving side this entire year, and he's going to be chalk.
Fuck tight end this week.
Listen, I get the $6,000 price tag, but at the same time, like either people are going all the way up to Trey McBride or going all the way down to whatever a Stone Smart is.
So Stone Smart and Brenton Strange, Jordan Atkins, Mr. Akins gets added to that list now.
He does.
I mean, I'm probably just playing what fits. I mean,
I still got Jordan Akins under 10% on my screen right now.
Yeah, he's at 12 here. Stone Smart is the Stone chalk at 25.
If you want to get stoned, you eating that chalk. Shit.
I mean, like, I think you just play what fits. I like Ertz. I like Travis Kelce. Jonnu Smith. He didn't get there last week. He tried in overtime. Well, I guess he kind of did.
He got there.
In overtime.
It's like no targets the entire game. Overtime. Jonnu, game winner. Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
They were just playing around the entire game. They're like, all right, bring out Weapon X. Here we go.
I think, and then one of my favorite tight ends, I really like Mark Andrews.
You will be the only person tomorrow playing Mark Andrews.
That's one of my. He will not be the only person because I will play him with him.
Baker,
I too will play him with you guys.
You guys know every time I play a guy, somebody gets hurt. You may want to. They want to pump the brakes on that.
All right, so I'm playing Isaiah Likely then. Cool, got
it. Just pray that that's the guy.
I'm playing Isaiah Likely then. That's
all right, guys. This is how we're gonna attack it. Chill, you play Mark. Sully, you are on Zay Flowers. You play Zay. I will play Likely. One of us is going to get there.
I like that plan.
It'll be Patrick Ricard. It'll be the like Nelson Aguilar game.
Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Justice Hill will have 200 on the ground.
Oh, you better shut your whore mouth.
He'll have 4 rushes for $150. You know,
if that happens, I quit. I promise you, if that happens tomorrow, I quit.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. I'm just done with this whole DFS thing at that point. I mean, Sam Laporta is still 4,400. And again, you want a cheaper piece in that game. You know, he's touchdown or bust at this point, but that's fine. But at the same time, again, his ownership is going to be driven a little further down. But it also helps guys again like Mark Andrews, because Mark Andrews is sitting at 4,100. As Chill mentioned, Zach Ertz, fine play against New Orleans, and I kind of like Juwan Jennings on the other side of that game. Who else are they going to throw to? I get it. Their quarterback position ain't looking too good, but a backup quarterback's best friend is normally his tight end. So $3,400 for Juwan Johnson, I'm fine with that.
I think if you need to save salary tomorrow and you want to play double tight end, I think it's okay.
I think there's just too many good running backs on the slate to try and do the double tight end thing, man. I get it. Salary savings is great, but again, I'm just going to play a cheaper guy like freaking Ramondre Stevenson, and there's my salary savings.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I just think the tight end position is just ass this week, but at the same time, like, you got Travis Kelce's homecoming, right?
Yeah, so Noah, I mean, if you want to play Noah Gray tomorrow, I think you're fine.
Well, dude, the other tight end.
I mean, shit. It may work.
Yeah, but we know how we feel here on the Deli about this position. Fuck it, and we move on. So, Baker, any closing thoughts on tight end?
Fuck tight end.
Okay, cool. Defense. Like I already mentioned, man, you want to get away from the chalk and just pivot the entire way. A cheap Patriots defense don't sound bad at all. So I might go there. I think the Jets still suck. So I might play a little Jaguars tomorrow. And if you can afford it to go all the way up, Baltimore's defense against Tommy Cutlets. If you can afford it, of course. It's going to cost you, but it might be worth it. So those are probably only 3 defenses I'm playing tomorrow. Baker?
I don't care. I guess if I have to give a analytical thing, Denver.
You have to play a defense.
Denver? Does Denver make sense to you?
I mean, you have a defense in the revenge narrative.
Elaborate.
Please.
It's the Commanders. Marshawn Lattimore makes his debut.
Marshawn Lattimore, revenge. Hey man, we didn't even harp on the revenge narratives today, like we did in the group chat.
Kareem Hunt,
revenge. Tyler Boyd, revenge. We got some we mentioned the homecoming narratives, but not a lot of revenge.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. Marshawn Lattimore revenge game.
I mean, if you want to argue to play the Browns defense because Kansas City once again lost their left tackle and they're going back to the guy that Pat Mahomes fucking hates, that guy's going to have to try and block Myles Garrett tomorrow, and I don't see that going well. So if you want to convince yourself to play the Browns defense at 2,200 and just mega punt, I'm not against it. They might be
chalk. They might end up being chalk tomorrow, man.
$2,200
for the Browns defense. It might be chalk.
And then, I mean, Carolina's defense has been playing okay. If you just want to pivot to the Panthers defense, because I watched that whole Monday night game, and Cooper Rush threw so many balls to Bengals, they just can't catch.
Because the Bengals defense is one of the worst in the NFL, but they're going to look lights out on Sunday because they get to go against Will Levis.
I want to play them, but at the same time, if I could find the extra $400 to play the Ravens defense, I'm gonna.
Yes. That's
Baker
the take.
Baker mentioned the Broncos defense. I think that makes a ton of sense as well.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson is whoo.
If you want to play the Chiefs defense along with your Jameis Winston stacks.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Makes almost way too much sense, actually.
Because they do get their one starting cornerback. I think his name's Watson, and he's a really good corner. That's also kind of why their defense looked a little ish. So I think he's back tomorrow.
Excellent takes, boys. Baker, yes, I will be taking your prop bet. I am taking Tank Bigsby.
I'll take tomorrow.
There you go. I'm fine with that.
All right.
But before we wrap it up, of course, with our favorite stacks and bold calls of the slate, make sure you hit that like and subscribe on your way out. Good luck with all your fantasy contests tomorrow. And we need some sticking points that the people can stick to, that they can put in their parlays, add to their lineups to get to the top of the charts. So, Baker, your favorite stack tomorrow and a bold call.
Can I give you my favorite mini stack?
Yeah, of course.
Stack's a stack, bro.
Stack is a stack. That's right. And we trying to win some
Uh,
stacks tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Jameer Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Amari Cooper. That's my favorite mini.
Bravo. It's like you stole the lineup right off of my FanDuel account. Bravo. Excellent. What's the bold call tomorrow, man?
Bold call. Well, since we have a prop bet on it now, I feel like I have to go this route. I have to.
Gross.
So it's Breeze Lightning.
Gross.
Breeze Lightning, 120 and 2.
I'm not making my bold call about take Bigsby. I can tell you that right now.
Same.
But here's the thing I want to point out. I was close last week, goddammit. I said Justin Jefferson 150 and 2. I was close.
You damn close. I'll give you that. Chill, what's the favorite stack, man?
Favorite stack. It sounds so weird to say, but nobody's playing it. It's the Ravens, and mine's the Ravens and the Commanders. It's both of the teams from the Maryland area. They're playing really bad teams. Nobody's playing those guys. And honestly, my bold take is that I think the Ravens are going to strap 40 on the Giants.
Yeah.
I think they absolutely eviscerate the Giants tomorrow.
40.
And really because I don't think the Giants defense is trying. I just don't think those teams are trying anymore. And then if you want one for the parlay, I got two. You can I think I would play Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown.
Revenge.
Because I think Andy Reid does like those narratives, and or it'd be Xavier Worthy gets 2 scores.
Okay, big on the Chiefs tomorrow. I respect that. Favorite stack for me probably going to be the Josh Allen side of the ball. I'm going to go back to the well. Give me Josh Allen, give me Amari Cooper, and give me insert starting tight end. With either Kincaid if he plays, great. Knox if he played, great. I know 1 target, 5 yards last week, whatever. They're going to need a little more out of the arm of Josh Allen tomorrow, I feel. So give me those 3 with, like Baker said, the double run back of Jameer Gibbs and the God of the Sun. So give me that entire game as a stack. Give me the Rams versus Bills. That's the stack. And my bold call is going to be Ramondre Stevenson. I'm going to give you a Ramondre Stevenson call. I'm going to give Ramondre 102. I'm going to give a Patriots win. And on the less bold side, I'm going to say our king passes Saquon Barkley for the rushing lead tomorrow. Whatever that statistic looks like, your king will be number 1 in the NFL in rushing after tomorrow. I don't know the difference yet. I can do it mathematically, but you're going to need our king in your lineup tomorrow. You're going to need him. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here? I'll let you guys get to your evening.
No, like I said, tomorrow is an interesting slate. I think it's going to be very scattered across the board, and I just wanted to make sure I was reading this one line correctly. Does anybody find it weird that the Dolphins are 2.5 point underdogs to the Texans?
Yes.
I'm not
yes, I do.
And I'm not even saying this as a Dolphins fan. My team is very slim to make the playoffs, but I feel like Miami's been playing better than them. Now we haven't beat nobody.
Yeah, I think that line's a little sus. I think that's a parlay pick. I would take the Dolphins money line.
I would
put some coin on that.
I mean, yeah, it just Vegas is smarter than me. So what? I mean, when Houston wins by 30, I'll be like, I'm an idiot, but.
Vegas can't beat the books. Baker, closing thoughts?
Fuck tight end.
Is that what you're doing later?
Hey!
Talking about. Yes, chill with the one-liner of the night. Yeah, I can't get no better than that. That'll do it. For Chill, for Baker, and all of you watching at home, thank you so much for tuning into the Deli. We're gonna go ahead and close up the shop, and of course, see you all at the top. Listen.